Yo, what's good, everyone? Your boy Deke back with That Fantasy Guy. This time we're not going to be talking any fantasy because the Madden ratings came out. I play some Madden here and there. It's not my favorite game. I'm more of a 2K guy.
Big Madden guy.
But you like Madden for sure. I know we've talked that you really like Ultimate Team. So we're just going to chop it up about some of the ratings. There's been some outcry or players, NFL players reacting, also fans reacting to some of these ratings. So we figure we'll give it our shot and react to some of these as well. Where do you want to start off? You seem to be on these running backs here.
Yeah,
There's some about the RBs you're a little upset with.
I'm shocked here. Can't believe how low Le'Veon Bell is. I mean, the disrespect he got just from having 1 year on the bad team.
So his rating's 87. They have some of the names that are above him that are in close relation to him. We got Kareem Hunt at 87, Josh Jacobs 88, Alvin Kamara 88, Joe Mixon 89, Aaron Jones at a 90. Then you got some of the more elite backs with Saquon Barkley, Cook, Chubb, Elliott, Henry. Where would you have him then? I would probably have him in that 89, 90 range. I would have him over Aaron Jones. I was talking about this on the podcast with Moats. I forget what we were discussing, but the Packers offense, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones were brought up, and I can't remember what exactly we were talking about, but I made the comment that I would put Le'Veon Bell in that Packers situation, and it would just be almost a watch out. You saw Aaron Jones do good last year, but just imagine what Le'Veon Bell would have been able to do with Aaron Rodgers in that Packers system.
It would have been.
So I would, just based off that, I felt that way a couple weeks ago whenever I mentioned that, and I feel that way now. I would put Le'Veon Bell over Aaron Jones. Now, their argument's probably just, he had the down year, but he's on a bad team, dude. I think, if he's in the Steelers offense, if he's in one of these elite offenses with a really great quarterback, you would be really able to see what Le'Veon Bell is able to do. I mean, you saw it when he was on the Steelers. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the one. I know you said it. I would agree with that. There's two other ones that I was thinking in terms of snubs, and they're actually two of the elite running backs on this list. Yeah. And Zeke Elliott at a 92, and then Saquon Barkley at a 91. I'm really big on Zeke. We talked about this in fantasy. I had him as my number 3 fantasy running back. But in terms of just real life, dude, his work speaks for itself. Just go to his Pro Football Reference page. His 4 years in the NFL as a running back. I mean, I would say out of all these guys right here, he has the best body of work.
Yeah.
And he had a top 3 season for a running back last year. Yeah. That's just insane to me. Obviously Christian McCaffrey, but he has one less year than Zeke.
Right.
But dude, Zeke's just he should be at least a 95, 96 in my opinion. They got Derrick Henry at a 93. So I think Zeke's still the better back over Derrick Henry, even though Henry had that amazing year. And Saquon Barkley at a 91. I'd put him over Derrick Henry as well. I'd give him a 94, just under Zeke though. A little bit of an injury last year, and like I said, Zeke's body of work is just a little bit over Saquon Barkley's. But like we talked about in terms of fantasy, I still like Barkley's upside over Zeke. So those were kind of my things that jumped out to me with these running back rankings.
Yeah, with the whole ultimate team thing and the type of style offense I like to put together with my team, I love to have that mobile quarterback, like that Lamar Jackson, that Kyler Murray, to have another guy like a Christian McCaffrey or a guy that can catch a ball. But the thing is just acceleration. They gave Derrick Henry 88 acceleration, and just getting around the outside with 88 speed, and with how fast these defensive players are, and we'll get into that a little bit. It definitely causes some problems. But like Barkley, he said 93 speed, 93 acceleration. That sounds like a beast card or a beast player in general on Madden. Cook 92, 92, Chubb 92, 91, Zeke 90, 91. These are all guys that are really quick, going to catch a lot of balls.
Dude, they got in terms of speed, the fastest guy I'm looking on this first page is Mostert at a 95 speed, 94 acceleration.
Yeah, the fastest speed guy I believe is Matt Breida. Okay. 95 speed, 93 acceleration, but he's only in 79 overall. So, I think that they sort of disrespected a lot of guys here. I mean, when you think about how fast that Christian McCaffrey is, in my opinion. I mean,
So
he's
that's what
definitely
you're
faster
upset. You're
than
upset
the
with
92
people's speeds
speed.
rating here.
Yeah, I mean, speed and acceleration. And now I'm not saying that, this is the first, this is going to be the opening day ratings. You know what I mean? Just open the game up, and these are the ratings. So I'm sure that they're going to improve over time, and I'm sure they're going to, adapt to how the game grows. But yeah, I mean, it's just.
Is there any other players that stick out to you in terms of overall ratings?
just-
Do you agree with me then with Zeke and Barkley?
Yeah.
Is there another?
I mean,
we both agree on
I
Bell.
just think that Aaron Jones is way too high. I mean,
Okay,
the fact that he
being a
had
90.
one good year, you know what I mean? Like one really, really good year
But like we
to
said,
be above like Kamara and
touchdown
Joe
dependent.
Mixon. But yeah, I mean, just Joe Mixon and Kamara and
Oh yeah, I guess you could say
Kareem
Kamara.
Hunt
I would
and
bump up.
Le'Veon Bell. I mean, this is
I would bump up if you're gonna have Aaron Jones at a 90. I would bump up Kamara a few spots. Then I would give him at least a 90 then as well.
easily.
So is that it with the running backs? Is there, like I said, is there anything else that you wanted to touch on with that?
Yeah, I mean,
I think just some of the big names we would move up. That's all. I mean, you could if you wanted to keep Aaron Jones at 90, I'm not gonna completely complain about that. But probably should be in that 88, 87 range.
Also, one more thing to touch on real quick is Melvin Gordon. I mean, listen, I know that he took, the year off or whatever last year, a couple games off or 5 weeks. The fact that he is only an 84 and they have Philip Lindsay, right? I can't agree with it.
Both of them at 84.
Yeah, I just can't agree with it.
Dude,
sorry.
I've never been big on Melvin Gordon. I know he's a good fantasy running back, and I mentioned this in our last podcast. But just the yards per carry throughout his career, it makes you wonder at least. It does. He has a lot of years with 3 yards per carry. Not 3, but 3.7, 3.8, that type of stuff. So I'm not going to complain completely about that overall. It's not really on my heart that much. So how about quarterback then?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously my big one is Big Ben at an 81. They completely disrespected him last year because they started off the season with him being an 85.
Yeah.
And now an 81. I forget what he ended up being whenever they were doing the roster updates because you could still play him in online modes. And I think they had him around an 81 or an 82 because I was using the Steelers. And, dude, it's just annoying,
it's
man.
Disrespectful.
Phillip Rivers, Kirk Cousins, Stafford, Garoppolo, Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, Deshaun Watson, Matt Ryan, all these dudes ahead of him. Come on. I know, he's in that class. Whenever you hit Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Breeze, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Mahomes, he's in that class, in my opinion. So you got to have him at least in that 90 range.
I mean, dude, I don't know if I would go 90 just based off the fact of how he sat that whole year out last year. But definitely in that Matt Ryan range, 86, 87. I mean, dude, to have Phillip Rivers, Kirk Cousins above him, that's just disrespectful.
Well, and you saw with even Rivers last year, who played, but had an awful year.
Awful.
And Ben didn't even play all last year. So how are you going to discredit that, but then keep Rivers above him with his god-awful year? That doesn't even make sense at all.
How many rings does Phillip Rivers have again?
0.
How many Rivers does Kirk Cousins have again?
0.
What does that give you anymore?
All those dudes I named up until Aaron Rodgers, 0 rings. And obviously someone could say, the rings happened a while ago. But if anything, Ben's quarterback play over the past 4 or 5 years has been his best quarterback play. And then he can be clutch in the playoffs and he can perform in the playoffs and big moments and all that type of stuff.
He's been there, done that. He's established.
And that's what I'm saying. His last year, his 2018 year, he was the number 3 or 4. I think it was in total QBR that year, led the league in passing yards, over 30 touchdowns. It was an insane year, and people just almost want to write it off.
It's incredible.
Which I don't get. He's going to prove everyone wrong.
Just disrespectful.
So it's cool. So Ben's the other guy, and obviously, whenever we were talking about fantasy, I've been big on Cam Newton. I think him being at a 78.
That's
You have Ryan Tannehill, Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield. Yeah. I mean, even Phillip Rivers.
Even Josh Allen. I mean, dude, he's a 77.
Listen,
he had a really good year last year, and I don't understand how you're going to, keep him that low on a list, on a team like that with Steph. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm seeing something or they're seeing something that I'm not. But, I mean, when I look at the film of the year that Josh Allen had last year, I'm appalled.
Listen, I know I'm down on Josh Allen, but I'm actually going to agree with you there. 77. I mean, and then the guys that are ahead of him.
Baker Mayfield over him.
Baker Mayfield at a 78. Wow. Derek Carr at a 79. I'm definitely putting Josh Allen over them too. So Tannehill's at an 80. So, yeah, I'd probably put him at like an 80.
I mean, yeah.
80, 81.
Like, dude, even if he's in that Matt Stafford, Kirk Cousins range, 82.
I'd put him over Phillip Rivers. Yeah, I'd put him over Cousins as well, probably.
I mean, dude,
so low 80s for Josh Allen. Yeah, I'm not, my whole question with him is he going to be a leader, a great quarterback? But based off his year last year, I mean, 77 does seem a little bit too low.
Yeah, very low.
My thing with Cam Newton, though, dude, is 78 for him. I was having this whole argument with Moats whenever we had the podcast last week, and I said I would take him just straight up over Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
And Dak Prescott's at an 84. Now, I'll give you, Dak Prescott had a great year last year. He's able to stay healthy. His 4 years with the Dallas Cowboys, if you just look at his stats, are pretty solid. Right. But like I said, in a vacuum, I'm taking Cam over him. So Cam at a 78, I'm at least putting him in those low 80s. I think at some point during the year, he'll bump up even more just because his play is going to speak for itself. But if you want to keep him in those low 80s just because last year he was completely hurt, then yeah, I get that. But I mean, I would even put him in that Matt Ryan, Deshaun Watson range. Maybe, I know you might be thinking maybe I'm overrating like Ben and Cam, but that's just how I feel about those guys.
I mean, these guys are established guys. Cam won MVP. Ben has 2 Super Bowls. I mean, it's just, in my opinion, it's disrespectful. But I want to dedicate a little time here to talk about one more player, or 2 more players, actually.
Okay, for quarterbacks?
Kyler Murray. I mean, listen, a 77 overall. Now, let's put this into perspective. Ready? Joe Burrow, that hasn't played 1 NFL snap, is 1 overall less. That's the most disrespectful thing, up as far as Madden goes, I've seen yet this year. I mean,
where would you have him?
He's Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he's ranked 1 less or 1 more than Joe Burrow, a guy that's never played. And I mean, dude, you have to put him in that, like I said before with
did you put him Josh Allen then?
Dude, I put him like where Garoppolo and Dak are, or like Garoppolo and Stafford, like in the 83, 84 at least. I mean, he's a guy that's a mobile quarterback that transformed a whole team that's been under 500 for the last how many years. I mean, this guy is a guy this year that they're talking about as an MVP candidate, possibly. And you have him 1 above Joe Burrow? That's just, I mean, listen, it's insulting, but it just makes the guy that made these ratings look like an idiot. And honestly, and Sam Darnold, look, I know he's not the greatest quarterback in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's still the starter for the New York Jets. He's a decent quarterback. Look at the weapons he's had last year. You know what I mean? The injuries to the offensive, or the injuries to the offense on the outside with the receivers, and just the lack of a line that he had last year. For him to be a 73 overall, I mean, that's on the same level as Tua, who's probably not even going to play this year. 3 less than Joe Burrow.
I would even say Daniel Jones too at a 72 might be a little bit disrespectful.
That's
to have Joe Burrow, like you said, 76 and Tua at a 73 over Daniel Jones at a 72, who, he had his ups and downs last year, but definitely proved he can be a quality starter in the NFL, whereas these guys haven't.
Deke, they have Jordan Love,
71.
1 less
than Daniel Jones.
They
have Jordan Love at a 71, Drew Lock at a 70. Drew Lock
is an NFL starter.
Even if you want to question
Haskins is 70, Minshew is 70.
Even if you want to question if Drew Lock is going to be the Broncos franchise guy, he proved to be a quality starter last year in his limited time. Like, he proved to have potential, whereas Jordan Love, they're talking about in the draft, he's a draft prospect.
Yeah.
Like, you would think a Madden rating would reflect that, maybe in a 65 or at least in the 60s range. But man, that's wild.
That's reaching.
Over Drew Lock.
Reaching. Minshew.
I mean, you could even say Minshew.
Look at the year Minshew had last year.
Wasn't bad for a rookie.
Come in.
What was he, a 5th or 6th round pick?
Yeah. Dude, I mean, even Haskins. These guys are guys that have NFL experience. They've been there, done it.
I wouldn't make the argument for Haskins because his rookie year was bad.
But still, you're talking about putting a guy that's never played in the NFL, never, you know what I mean? Jordan Love. How are you going to put him above Gardner Minshew? How are you going to put a trash player like Mitch Trubisky ahead of Gardner Minshew. If you're starting a team right now,
or even Drew Lock.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to have a talk with the guy that made these ratings. I mean, it's. I mean, give me that job, please.
You bringing up Kyler Murray is funny to me because I said this. Well, I said this as well. You could say obviously Dak's year, statistically wise, was better than Kyler Murray's.
Right.
But I do think Kyler's gonna have a better year than Dak. We talked about this whenever we were talking fantasy quarterbacks and stuff. I do think he's gonna have a better year. So yeah, I wouldn't be opposed if you put him maybe a little bit lower than Zach. I'd say maybe in those low 80s range.
Like the 82, 83?
77.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, definitely.
Very.
Is there anything else with the quarterbacks, or do you want to move on to another position? I
don't think. I mean, I want to go to this next page here to see.
You want to stay at offense here? Because I got two things for offense.
Go ahead.
Receiver and tight end. My thing at receiver, the one that sticks out to me is Odell at 91 being the 10th best receiver in the league.
I mean, we talked about this a little bit.
I think that's low, dude.
We talked about this a little bit before, but I want to see if you changed your mind.
What?
Cooper?
Yeah,
or
what
Odell?
about him? When did we talk about this?
The other day on the phone. I called you up.
On the phone?
Yeah, I said if you're starting a team right now, you want Amari
What
Cooper.
did I say? I said Odell, right? Yeah, I still say Odell. Come on.
I just don't think
so. So the players that they have over Odell, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, and Amari Cooper. I think you can make the argument for Evans and Devontae Adams. I think Odell is on their playing fields, but Stephon Diggs and Keenan Allen and Amari Cooper, I think Odell is hands down better than any of those dudes. I think...
other than Amari Cooper, I really think that Amari Cooper's special. I think that you could say Diggs, you could say Keenan Allen. I don't know about Mike Evans. I mean, maybe Mike Evans, but no, I mean, Amari Cooper.
Mike Evans is really underrated, I think. Yeah. Is really underrated.
He's a big guy.
Like, Odell's got the name. That's why I'm hard-pressed to put him over Mike Evans. And I think Devontae Adams, obviously Odell had more yards than him last year, but Devontae Adams was hurt for 4 games.
Yeah.
Now, the argument for Odell, in my opinion, is shitty Brown situation last year with a rookie head coach who was completely incompetent. With all that being at play, he still had over 1,000 yards last year in a completely dysfunctional situation. Now he's going to have an extra year under his belt, being there with Baker Mayfield, having Jarvis Landry there, and having just all those offensive pieces. Where I think he, it's 1,200, 1,300 yards. I think that's almost a given with Odell. Yeah. That's what I mean. 1,000 yards last year was a down year. Yeah. His body of work over the course of his career and just his talent overall, man, I think he should be at least like a 94.
Let me be clear. The only reason why he had a down year last year was because I drafted him in fantasy football.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. So
you cursed him.
Yeah.
Why? Wait, what do you mean, though? Do you have a bad...
One player, I'll draft, a top player every year that's a big name. And every single time I do, they're just down year, bust. I mean, I told you about the year I drafted. I had the first pick. I had the choice of Gurley or Bell. Bell supposedly is going to sit out, but then there was a report that came out that said he was going to play. He was going to sit out like a week or 2 and then play. Ends up sitting the whole year out.
You wanted that hometown pride.
I picked Bell. I needed the hometown pride. I needed to be able to go
tell
to
him what happened with the handcuff, too, because if you picked Bell at that point, you needed to get James Conner.
And then, the people in my league, they love to stab me in the back. It's their number one thing because they know I'm the best. So, they want to stab the guy in the back that's the best. And James Conner, who should have been like a 5th, 6th round pick, gets drafted in like the 2nd round. I mean, I was just appalled, and it was just insulting. But staying on the wide receiver list a little bit here, as I look at this, we were talking about how Ben sat the year out last year, and his rating took a dramatic fall. How are they going to not drop a guy like A.J. Green and keep him above a guy like Chris Godwin, or on the same level of a guy like Chris Godwin that was a leader in receiving yards and, just a top NFL receiver last year? And
I say bump Godwin up. Don't take A.J. Green down.
Oh, 100%.
Don't take A.J. I don't think you can have A.J. Green down more than an 88, though.
Got it.
Just who he is, man.
But look at the games he played last year.
Because, wait, who are you dropping him lower, though? Because they have Tyler Lockett, Sanders, Edelman, T.Y. Hilton.
Ready?
I think A.J. Green's better than all those guys.
I'm putting Lockett over him.
No.
I'm putting T.Y. Hilton over him.
No.
I'm putting maybe not Emmanuel Sanders. Maybe not Edelman. I'm putting Juju over him.
No.
Yeah.
Not right now. Juju might have a better year production-wise, but A.J. Green, though.
You want to hear this?
In terms of the attention he brings and just being a bona fide number one?
This is a hot take.
Okay. What's the hot take?
I'm putting Devontae Parker over AJ Green.
I don't know if you could do that in a Madden rating right now. Could you say he's going to have a better year? Maybe, yeah.
Dude, I don't know.
I mean, Devontae Parker had an awesome year last year.
I just think a guy that doesn't play a whole year and gets hurt every single year and he's out for year before it was his knee or something, and the next year it's his ankle, and the one year it's his back, and then he hurts his hand. Your Madden rating has to reflect if you can stay healthy or not, or play.
Well, you bring up a good point in the consistency, because if it's going to be about injury, just make it about injury.
But, they did the same thing to Ben. I mean, how are you not going to do the same thing with Green? And, I can already see the bias that Madden's going to be showing here to the Bengals, because they got the young number one rookie quarterback. They need the next star. They want to be on the top of it. They need him to have the wide receivers. Now, they have Mixon higher than I'd rank him. They have Green higher than I'd rank him. Burrow's higher than Madden,
you got to give the kids a reason to play, man. Anything else on receiver? My big thing was Odell for sure. I'm looking through them. There's nothing. There's probably some people I would shift around a little bit, but Odell was the main one for me.
I want you guys to leave in the comments below who you guys would rather have on your team as far as Madden goes. Amari Cooper or Odell. Comment below.
Oh, dude.
Let us know.
Look at this. You're setting up
I just want to prove them wrong. So just, please.
Easily Odell. Easily Odell.
Come on. You got to go Coop. It's the Coop show.
Easily Odell, dude. I think there's some people, depending on who you ask, I've heard some people in the fantasy community, be upset with Amari Cooper because he's had poor performances in fantasy playoffs. So that might skew the result a little bit in my favor. I'm just warning you.
We'll see.
So I got Odell over
I think that
Amari.
everyone hates the Browns, so we'll see.
Ooh, okay. All right, so the big one, we'll stick on offense. This will be the last one for offense. The big question, there was some back and forth. I don't know if you want to say conspiracy, but maybe a little bit of not resentment. People were upset a little bit. We'll say this about Gronk's rating. 95 after being out of the league for a year and being somewhat hurt the year prior. Now, let me ask you a question real quick before you go. Are you surprised? I'm surprised at the rate. I thought it would be low 90s. I'm actually surprised a little bit. But
I'm not.
I'm good with it being a 95. Are you good with it? I am, because I think if he's fully healthy, he's a top 3 tight end. I think he's up there with Kittle and Kelsey. Not right now, though. He can be.
Like I said before, if you're going to do that to Ben, I want you to keep that same energy.
Yeah,
for all of them.
I just want them to bump up Ben, though. That's what I mean. I want them to get Ben up to 90.
As far as Gronk, I mean, it's Tom Brady's boyfriend. You know what I mean? They love Tom Brady. He's in Tampa Bay. They gotta make the flash to Tampa Bay and do all these great things. You know what I mean? Whatever. I'm not surprised one bit. I wouldn't have been surprised if they had Cameron Brate in the 90s or some crazy
that's
stuff.
That's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, bro. Madden never surprises me every year. They just.
Wait. So. Are you against the 95 though?
Yeah, I mean, I'm against it, but I'm not surprised.
No, outside of Ben, where he is, if you're taking the whole injury and all that stuff away from it, Gronk, 95, where he is right now, coming back after a year off.
What about Zach Ertz? Look at what he's done.
Listen, I think Gronk.
What about Austin Hooper? Look at the year he had last year.
I think Gronk has another element than those dudes in terms of blocking. In terms of blocking,
I mean, dude, in terms of blocking, but. He's a great blocker, but so is Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz and Austin Hooper are great at blocking. I believe Austin Hooper was one of the highest ranked blocking tight ends in football last year. I'm not saying he's not, dude, but he's how old is he now?
Big time mismatch.
How old is Gronk?
I think he's 31.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not counting them out. I'm not saying I'm mad, but I'm not surprised. I disagree with it, but I'm not surprised. Just based on the fact, Madden's gonna play to the big time players,
Now,
the big names.
Yeah, like I said, I thought he was going to be like 92, 93.
Yeah.
And would that be more accurate? Yeah, I think so.
I would have had him at like an 88,
but
89.
With him being at a 95, I think it reflects my sentiment of I still think he's the top 3 tight end if he's fully healthy. But if you had him at a 92 or 93, since Zach Ertz is a 90, he would still be top 3. So if you were to bump him down a rating or 2, I wouldn't be completely opposed. But I'm not in an uproar over the 95. I just think Gronk's that good. That's why.
He's a sure first ballot Hall of Famer at the end of the day.
He just needs to stay healthy. If he gets hurt, then bump down his rating or whatever.
We had about AJ Green of how your injury. If you're injury prone, it has to tie into your Madden rating. Like you can't sit here and
see. That's the thing. I don't want to knock Gronk or Green down. I want to bump Ben up.
Yeah,
that's my thing. But you want it to be all right. If you're gonna do this to Ben, then knock the other.
You gotta hold
down.
it. You gotta hold it the whole way around, bro. You can't say one thing and do the other for other people. And it just, in my opinion, it just shows a little bias.
Well, here's the thing: they had Bennett in 85 last year, though. Coming off of, I think they have an anti-Ben bias or some anti-Steeler bias. I mean, we'll get into this more with the defense.
Yeah. Well, anytime that me and you talk about the Steelers, these young kids on here, they're, oh, you guys are biased. You guys are this. You guys are that. What we're about to talk about as far as the Steeler goes, it literally makes me not want to buy the game. Like, I don't want to buy Madden just based on the disrespect that they've showed the Steelers this year. Not even on some hometown crap. But, I mean, we'll get into it, but it's just it keeps me up at night.
We were hanging last night. You had a whole spiel about this. If you want to have that energy calling us so biased, keep that same energy and say Madden is anti-biased towards the Steelers.
100%. And, it's they have a guy, like, let's get into the...
I mean, the main two are TJ Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick. We could start with TJ if you want.
The guy was...
They got him at an 86, and he was considered by most a top 4, top 3 finalist for Defensive Player of the Year last year. Some people...
I thought he was a top 2.
Some people were saying he was snubbed.
Yeah.
Some people were saying he was snubbed. I mean, there's an argument for Chandler Jones. He had some... if you look at their stats, it was kind of a back and forth with TJ, Chandler Jones, and even Shaquille Barrett of whose stats were better across the board. Like, TJ had some stats that were better, so did the other players.
Yeah.
So, there's an argument for those guys, but obviously TJ with the Steelers, that's definitely a bigger brand recognition thing there. And Stephon Gilmore did have a really good year, too, with his interceptions, returning for touchdown, and the impact that he had. So, there was definitely an argument for any of those 4 guys.
Yeah.
But to have him at an 86 based off that year last year, and I would even say based off his career too, his second year he was over double-digit sacks and having a really good year, where I can't remember what his rating was last year, but you would at least have him maybe a 90 last year based off that rating. Now snowball it with his 2019 season. Dude, that's at least a 95. Come on.
They have Devin Bush, 76. Devin Bush is a 76.
I think
overall.
At least get him in the 80s.
Deontay Johnson, a 76. 76. Look at the year he had, getting passed to by the bum. I call him the bum, Mason Rudolph, the bum.
Wait, so are you taking Duck over Mason if you had to do backup quarterback right now?
I'm not taking either of them.
Yeah.
They're trash. I love to get behind my guy. Like, if it's the Steelers quarterback, I'm behind him 100%. Like,
we want to win, though.
Yeah, dude, I'm a big time Steeler guy. I just have extreme. I dislike Mason Rudolph, like, bad. Like, it's something about him. Like, I just really don't like. And I'm sure he's a great guy, awesome dude.
Yeah, none of this is personal. It's about football.
It's just like football wise, dude. Like, it's hard to watch for me. Like, he made my year last year as far as Steelers go. I don't know, bro.
Did you puke at all? Did you go to the toilet and puke after some of these games?
Multiple times, bro. Multiple times. In fact, this is a funny story I'll give you guys. I actually threw my back out because I was so mad at Mason Rudolph. I was like,
What'd you do?
I was like, what the? I stood up real quick, And dude, I couldn't it was like I couldn't even watch the rest of the game.
What'd you do the rest of the week? What
Dude,
was
I
your
had to
back
go to
like?
the chiropractor and go to the doctor.
Did you call off work?
Yeah, it was bad.
So yeah, I mean the whole thing with whenever I mentioned Chandler Jones and Shaquille Barrett, I don't know what Shaquille Barrett's rating is. I think he's on the right outside linebacker side. I could obviously look that up, but in terms of left outside linebacker, Chandler Jones is there.
Yeah.
He's a 95. And if we're gonna say T.J. Watt and Chandler Jones, their year was comparable last year, why isn't T.J. Watt a 95?
Yeah.
You have Von Miller and Khalil Mack at 97.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we go back to whole body of work, and I was talking about this with Odell Beckham. Khalil Mack and Von Miller's body of work speaks for itself. So I'm not going to be outraged with them being a 97, but at the same time, if we're going to compare them to T.J. Watt, they had a down year last year. They had 8 sacks each. They had 8 sacks.
What's Bud Dupree's rating?
80.
That's insulting in itself.
Well, yeah, if you look at the whole right outside linebackers, because I was looking at this last night, like I said, Shaquille Barrett's on that side. Dude, their whole list is kind of whack because I don't think they have a guy over the mid-80s over there. They might have their top guy being an 89.
To look at this list and see Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah, Demario Davis is an 89. Their second best over there is Shaquille Barrett at an 85 on the right outside linebacker side. So if I'm saying the same thing about T.J. Watt being an 85, Shaquille Barrett had a monster year last year, bump him up to at least a 90. Maybe in those low 90s. Dude, like that's insane to me.
It's sad.
And like you said with Bud Dupree, I think it was 11 and a half sacks last year at an 80.
They have Whitney Merciless over Bud Dupree.
Yeah, I don't even know what year.
What?
I don't even know what kind of year he had last year.
Wow.
But what I know is Bud Dupree had 11 and a half sacks, and an 80 seems really low to me. I mean,
100%.
The thing you could say, though, is just the whole right outside linebacker group is completely low, but
yeah.
I mean, maybe they should just be bumping all those dudes up. It seems kind of ridiculous to me. I mean, Bradley Chubb at an 81 seems low even. Have him at least at an 85, 86. He had a monster rookie year. He was hurt last year. So, dude, I don't know. That's a disappointment to me. I got Whitney Merciless pulled up here right now. Let's see what he had. And like you said, he's over Bud Dupree. My internet's going a little slow right now. Dude, 7.5 sacks for him last year. Bud Dupree at 11.5. And, dude, we saw, even outside of just the sacks, Bud Dupree had a bunch of, strip sacks.
Yeah.
The Bengals game, he completely closed it out for us. That was a much-needed strip sack. There was, I don't know how many minutes left, but it was fourth quarter. They were down. They were trying to drive, and Bud Dupree just completely, took over their line, sacked the quarterback, got the ball, closed out the game for us. There was at least 2 or 3 times he did that. Even TJ, throughout games, completely flipping games for us on the defensive end. And to see those 2 ratings, it is a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, it's terrible. Well, it's not disappointing. It's just terrible. I mean, it's sticking on defense. We go to the free safeties. I look at Minka. Okay, Minka came to the Steelers that were a terrible, terrible team, terrible defense last year at the beginning of the year. We're getting just destroyed by everybody. Big points put up on by almost every team we played. Minka comes in, changes the whole dynamic of our defense, right?
Completely changed.
Just completely changes it, makes us a top 5 defense.
You saw what happened.
Top 5 defense. Now they have
the Packers.
They have
the Packers, the Seahawks, and the Patriots game with our defense.
The fact that they have that punk, Earl Thomas, who in my opinion he's a punk. And this is personal. I'm getting personal. He's personal. He's a punk. He flipped off his coach in Seattle. Mm-hmm. You don't do that kind of stuff. You're a professional athlete. You hold yourself to a higher standard. There's kids watching you. You don't do that kind of stuff. You're not going to flip your coach off and do all these things. And the thing that he did last year with my most hated quarterback ever, Mason Rudolph, to hit a rookie quarterback in the head like that, and it's so clear that it's obvious that you did it on purpose. And then they come out and it wasn't my intention. Just be a man up, and say I made a mistake. And I'm going to live with it. I'm going to take it on the chin, and that's what it is. But he's a punk, He's a guy that, he's past his prime, in my opinion. We're going to see that this year. I think that he's extremely overrated. He has to be at least an 85, 86, not an 87, an 88 like he's ranked over Minka. I mean, it's just, as I said, I think it's just the fact that they're just Steeler biased. They don't want to see us do good. You
made the argument for Earl Thomas that he shouldn't be over Minka. I mean, you could even say Micah Hyde too.
Yeah.
You could go all the way up to Devin McCourty at 92. Now,
dude,
the thing with McCourty, I was looking it up with him. He didn't make an All-Pro last year or a Pro Bowl. At the same time, he did have 5 picks. But Minka had 5 picks too, and he had touchdowns, and he had impact-making plays that, I didn't watch the Patriots all last year, but I didn't see that with Devin McCourty. Is there a reason he didn't make that All-Pro and Minka did? I mean, making an All-Pro like that means you're a top 2 or 3 safety in the league. So that should be reflecting the ratings here. I mean, he's an 87, Devin McCourty 92.
Yeah,
man, I think you at least got to have Minka at like a 93.
93, 90. I mean, even if he's at a 90, I'm still, you know what I mean? I'm still thinking but I'm happy with it. To have him in an 87
we're not going to be complaining. We would just say, all right, he should be bumped up a rating. Yeah. That's about it. But dude, in at 87 compared to some of these dudes they have over him, I mean, these guys are good players though. Like Kevin Baird, Justin Simmons, Eddie Jackson, Devin McCourty, like I said, Earl Thomas, Micah Hyde. Those are good players, dude. But like Minka, like you said, completely changed the defense for the Steelers. You look at the Seahawks last year and the Patriots game that we had. Our defense, I think in the Seahawks game, we let up over 28 points. And that's with them. We got like a fluky touchdown with Devin Bush getting a fumble recovery, taken back to the house.
I remember that.
We had some fluky stuff happen in that game. Patriots just shredded us up for over 30 points in that opener. We get Minka Fitzpatrick. We all of a sudden became a top 3 defense. Some would argue the best defense in the league from that point on. I mean, you see the 49ers game right off the bat, he had a pick. And, there were a lot in that 49ers game, I think we had 5 turnovers. There was 2 or 3 of them that were completely unforced on the 49ers' behalf. But, dude, from that point on, he was able to change games. I think there was a stretch for like 7 or 8 weeks. You have the Indianapolis Colts, the pick 6 return to the touchdown, the LA Rams touchdown, the fumble recovery taken back to the house. And then, like, a stretch of, it had to have been like 6 or 7 games where, 3 or 4 of them were impact plays that completely flipped games for the Steelers' behalf. And because we saw our offense, it was sputtering a lot.
Yeah.
But, dude, him on defense, and along with a bunch of the other dudes on defense, which is why we're saying T.J. Watt's too low, too. And I'm going to make the argument for Joe Hayden being a little too low as well. But, man, and then you could say maybe he tailed off a little bit at the end of last year, but I would say that's just because people weren't throwing his way. They didn't even want to get him involved in anything they were doing on the offensive end because they knew it was going to reflect poorly and kind of screw their offense. We were going to have some type of game-changing play from Minka that would, get the Steelers in the right mode for a game.
Let me shoot you a couple names here.
All right, go ahead.
Shaquille Griffin, Justin Coleman, A.J. Boye. Would you have...
Are you talking cornerbacks?
Yeah.
Now?
Would you have any of those players over Joe Hayden?
No.
Thank you.
Well, I think another thing, I mentioned the All-Pro with Minka, how, that means you're, a top 2 or 3 safety in the league. That should reflect in your ratings. You can say the same thing about Joe Hayden. He made a Pro Bowl last year. I know it was based off an honorable mention, but even if you're getting honorable mention, that means you're a top 10 quarterback in the league. They got him ranked as the 24th best cornerback in the league right now.
Even a guy like Xavier Howard, that's disrespectful. An 82 for Xavier Howard? In my opinion, I'm taking him over Jimmy Smith. I'm taking him over Desmond Trufant. I'm taking him. He's more established, in my opinion, than Adoree Jackson. I'm taking him.
They have Denzel Ward in 86. They have Desmond King at an 87. Chris Harris 87.
You've got to have Xavier Howard and Joe Hayden in that 85 range.
Peterson at an 88. Dude, I'd even bump him to that 86, 87 range for sure. Yeah, I said, if you have Denzel Ward in 86, Desmond King at an 87, I put Joe Hayden there.
Lattimore.
If you want to make the argument, and once you hit Peterson at an 88, Darius Slay 88, Byron Jones 88, that you wouldn't have him there. All right, but that reflects close to being a top 10. Like I said, being a Pro Bowl, making it as an honorable mention, you should be a top 10 cornerback. So get him up in those high 80s.
And as we said previously, I'm a big Ultimate Team guy. I really don't mess around a lot with like the online play, like know what I mean, like the franchise play or anything like that. So to see these ratings like this, it's shocking because in Ultimate Team, they'll have cards that come out and like they're just normally base cards that are average,
right. And that's usually the beginning of the season. You got to use those cards.
Very few rare cards like that, and they're going for like 1 million coins or 800 and something thousand coins. To see the ratings just for base players, not Ultimate Team, like their actual ratings, it's very shocking to me. Very shocking.
Joe Hayden was number 4 in the league in interceptions last year. 5 interceptions.
Perfect. Now let's see who the number 4 ranked cornerback is for here. It's Jair Alexander or Tre'Davious White.
At a 90. And I think, actually, I'm down on the Bills, man, but I think Tre'Davious White's actually a little
really
bit low
good
at 90.
Yeah.
I think he should be like a 92 or 93.
100%.
He was in the mix, not at the end of the
100%.
season, but for a 2 or 3 week stretch towards
100%.
the end of the season.
Yeah.
He was in the mix for that Defensive Player of the Year. They were arguing between him and Stephon Gilmore.
And
Stephon Gilmore's a 99. You got to bump up Tre'Davious White a little bit.
All these kids want to call me biased and me and you biased on this. I even think Marlon Humphrey's disrespectfully low at an 89 for the Ravens. Dude, he's a lockdown corner. Literally won them the game against us.
Or Marcus Peters in an 85.
Yeah.
Marcus Peters in an 85. That's bad, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I would put...
He's 100% over Denzel Ward. 100%.
Dude, like if we're going to say Joe Hayden at an 88, 87, I would put Marcus Peters over that. I put him at a 90. And you're right, Marlon Humphrey, yeah, 89, 90, that's good with me. I'd bump him up one.
I'd bump him up more than that. I'd bump him up to at least up there with, Sherman. I mean, the amount of games, just from watching last year, the amount of games that Marlon Humphrey won the Ravens, just on big plays that he's made at the end, big plays he had in general, it's mind-blowing. And, I remember the game versus us. I mean, at the end of the game, Juju's running down to win the game for us. Fumbles at game over. I mean, he's a dude that's a beast and a real difference maker. And I'm sure that, they're going to update it eventually. But to see these base ratings, it's really confusing. It's really confusing.
Is there anything else that you want to cover with these Madden ratings? I think we got it all covered.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the position and the major defense, what about defensive tackles? I want to see some. I want to see a couple guys on there.
They had Cam's rating kind of decent. I think they had him in the high 80s or a 90. Let me check that real quick. Because the main thing for me was the whole TJ and Minka and even Joe Hayden. That's kind of what I wanted to get into and talk about. Because I saw Cam's initially and I didn't think it was that bad. Yeah, they got Cam at a 90, so they have him over Nick Bosa actually. Yeah, well, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah. He's one of the most underrated players in the NFL. I mean, not a lot of people from other teams might not appreciate Cam, but even shout out my boy Mike Oros. He was so big on Cam, and I was like, "Oh, dude, nah, you're not."
Remember we drafted him?
Yeah, no, I mean, if all throughout just all the time, he was just always high, and I was always like the dude that was low. And it was until 2 years ago, or even I would say 2 years ago
he's
I
made
really
3 Pro Bowls. I think he's made a couple All Pros too.
He's a dude that I actually have a picture on my Twitter of my header. He towers over Aaron Donald. Like he's a big guy, and it's nice to see that Madden's finally respecting him and giving him a little respect. I mean, yeah, he's I would take him over
Nick Bosa. That's the thing. We could give Cam the nod for body of work. I could see
Cam Hayward has a bigger body of work than Nick Bosa and Melvin Ingram, but
I could see Nick Bosa overtaking him this year in terms of rating.
Yeah,
just based off upside potential, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, my dude Mike was the dude that really got me on the Cam Hayward train here.
But outside
he's
that,
I'm
very
special player.
Being a 90, I'm not going to argue that at all. I'm not going to argue that. I'm good with that. That's the number 4 right end in the game. So, wow. you see anything on the D tackles that upset you?
Let's see. I was on them, but I changed over to the right ends. Let's see. D tackle.
Dude, the Wi-Fi is it quick for you now?
Crisp now.
It's quick for me now.
It's crisp. They must have heard me.
Yeah. Geno Atkins maybe bump up a little bit at an 88.
He's old. I'd say Vita Vea. You got to bump him up.
Vaughn Hargrave 82, old Steeler there. Yeah, maybe get him at an 85.
I like these rankings for the most part. As far as the D tackle goes, Fletcher Cox obviously is a horse. Just a tank and a beast. What about I want to see these kicker ratings.
No, come on, dude.
I just see the dude.
Why? What do you want to see about him?
See the kicker ratings.
What do you want to see about him?
I just need to see him. I need to.
You know what? I'll look at right defensive end now too, just in case.
And I'm gonna go to kickers here. They got. Let's see.
Was right defensive end? Was that Cam? No, I don't think it was. No, it was. We already looked at that. Now I got to go to left end. Outside of that, yeah, I think we got it wrapped up for the most part. But we want to check out them kickers.
I need to check these kickers out.
Wait, what are you looking for with the kickers? I
just want to see what
is there a player? Is there a player you're gonna be looking at? Because Justin Tucker obviously got to be one.
I would hope that he's one. Yeah, they have him one.
Dude, JJ Watt at a 98 on the left defensive end. Stephon Tuitt, they have high.
Give JJ Watt the respect and make him a 99 again. Come on, Madden.
Yeah, but dude, if you want to talk about being hurt and shit, right?
Yeah, but that's JJ Watt, bro. I mean, it's just
So
you know what? I go back on that. I'm a man of my word. You got to keep the same energy. You got to keep the same energy.
Bump him down a little. Bump him down a little bit. That's what you're saying.
That one is just enough.
Okay.
That one is just enough because he's just an animal when he's healthy. But yeah,
Cam Jordan 96, Joey Bosa 91, Daniel Hunter 89, DeMarcus Lawrence 89. They have Stephon Tuitt at an 87.
Yeah.
Which
that's
if he's healthy, yeah,
that's pretty high. I mean, considering how
that's what I mean.
He got hurt last year.
It's just shocking they have him at an 87, TJ at an 86, Minka at it was an 87, correct?
Yeah.
Dude, that is what for Stephon Tuitt, who didn't play at all last year. Basically, I mean, he played like 6 games or something like that, and he had an awesome 6 games. But still, man, the years in total that Minka and TJ Watt had, dude, come on.
The fact that you have an all-time.
Maybe there isn't an anti-Steeler bias there. Maybe they're just foolish because they, like I said, they have Stephon Tuitt in 87.
You have an all-time great kicker in Matt Prater. All-time great.
You think he's snubbed?
All-time great. 81. It's just sad. Greg Zuerlein, one of the top kickers in the league 2 years ago. Probably, if not the best.
You upset with this?
80 overall. I mean, dude. The drop-off from 87 to 80, in my opinion, is just so big that... I mean.
So those two is what you're most upset about.
Yeah, I mean, Dan Bailey's trash.
My shit's loading up right now.
Trash.
Hold on.
Dustin Hopkins is trash. Bullock's garbage.
What do they got Boz? Because Boz at an 82. So
he's the third best. That's what I mean. 82 is the third.
That's fine, but holy shit, Prater at an 81, though, isn't bad in relation to how they have every kicker rated. Because they have Justin Tucker at an 87. He's the number 1 kicker. So they have them all low. They have them all really low. So what are you saying? So they should bump... I mean, Justin Tucker should be 99.
I think you got to have Prater at that 82 spot, Boswell at that 80.
I think they should just bump all these up 10 spots here. Justin Tucker at a 97. Lambeau... See, I don't even know how good Lambeau did.
Nah, he's not. I mean, he's good, but he's not.
Yeah, put Tucker up to like a 97. Put everyone else up like 7 or 8 spots. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I agree. I mean, let me see something here. I wanted to see one more thing.
All right, what you looking for? Punters now?
I wanted to see these rookie ratings.
Oh, just rookie overall?
Yeah, I wanted to see. I don't know.
Because they do have this as a category here. I do like this Madden whole thing here. Just how they have the filter set up. It's pretty easy to navigate on their site.
Yeah.
Just go to Madden, what is it, maddenratings.com or some type of shit like that. All right. You want rookie ratings now?
Yeah.
All right, let's see them. Henry Ruggs at a 76, Joe Burrow 76, CeeDee Lamb 75, Jerry Jeudy 75, Jefferson 74, Jalen Reagor 73, Tua 73, Brandon Ayuk 72, Chenault 72. A lot of receiver rankings high. A lot of receiver rankings here.
Again, they're snubbing Chase Claypool, but I'm not surprised.
Claypool at a 70.
I'm not surprised.
They have Mims at 72.
Yeah, he's a good receiver too.
Not 72, but as a 70 as well.
Yeah.
I don't know though, dude. Some of those guys were picked ahead of Claypool. You know what I mean? If you're just based off draft order, like in how they were picked.
Henry Ruggs.
I think with the rookie, I think 70's fine. You know, you could say 71, 72. I think 70's fine. I'm not going to completely complain about that. They got him at a 92 speed, though. That's actually pretty fast. A lot of people are complaining about his speed.
Who? For Claypool?
Claypool, yeah.
Excuse me. I think that,
I know his 40 was really good, but a lot of people were saying, a lot of people have complained and said, like, his in-game speed isn't what it was for the 40-yard dash. So having a 92 speed, that's not bad. Have him as your 4th corner for the Steelers, or 4th receiver for the Steelers.
We're talking about all this. I just can't get past the second guy here.
Joe Burrow to
I
76.
just can't even.
Wait, so do you think all the other rookies are rated too high then? Henry Ruggs?
I think
mean,
that
they
Joe
got him
Burrow-
over
No,
Deontay.
no.
What's Deontay Johnson? His was 76, right?
Wide receivers, it's so I want you to think about
Less complex, where
What's
you
the
think any of
last-
these dudes could hop
what's the
in.
last rookie receiver that came or rookie quarterback that came in and just took over.
Baker had a good rookie year.
I'm saying though that just took over.
Took over Cam,
a
RG3, Big Ben.
Exactly. What was RG? I want to look up RG3's
Rookie Dak
rookie
Prescott had a good rookie year.
How are you going to rate Joe Burrow? Like, Joe Burrow is not better than the play, like we were talking about before as far as the quarterbacks went. He's not better than...
I think your main thing is
I'm just
the
insulted.
rating right now, right? Because they update week to week, right?
Dude.
Where if you rank Burrow at a 70 right now and he's having a good first couple weeks, you could bump him up to 76.
The
You could bump him up to 77,
guy that made this
78
list,
easily.
the guy that made this list lost all credibility from on my end when he ranked Joe Burrow, that's never taken an NFL snap, one less than Kyler Murray and Josh Allen. Just after that, that's when I would just, if he said that to me, if we were right here, I would just get up and walk out. I wouldn't even say nothing. I would just get my laptop, unplug it, and just leave. That's how disrespectful I take that. It's just, I mean, he's 3 spots higher than Sam Darnold.
Oh, so you're back on the quarterback filter now?
I mean, it's the most blatant, other than the Steelers in the defense. I mean, it's mind blowing to me. It's mind blowing.
It's fine.
He's on the same level as Jared Goff. Jared Goff went to a Super Bowl. Jared Goff led a team to a Super Bowl, and they have him on the same level as Joe Burrow. Okay.
I think you're a little more invested than me because I like 2K better than Madden anyway. So I'm just shrugging my shoulders with these ratings. The thing that can't be said though, I remember growing up, man, and Madden ratings count for something because you're not, let's just be real, as a fan, you're not able to watch every damn game that's out there. Sometimes your opinion is based off Madden ratings and how good a player is in a video game. And, you know, just what you hear from media. Like, sometimes it's just matter of fact. As a fan, you're not seeing every damn game that's out there. You're not watching the offensive guard. You're not watching the defensive line every snap and all that type of stuff. So you do want Madden ratings, in a sense, to be a little bit more accurate because kids growing up, me growing up, like I said, you know, my opinion of some players is is impacted by Madden, and sometimes even like fantasy football.
Yeah.
If there's players that are going off in fantasy, you know, you have a little bit more of a positive, I guess, vibe or attitude towards that player. You know what I mean?
Young kids are not going to get the luxury to. Well, I'm not going to say the luxury because some of them do if you really care about it, but most of them aren't going to, sit in front of the TV for 12 hours a day and watch Red Zone.
No.
Or sit in front of the TV and watch ESPN all day and CBS and watch all the games and look at the stats and see how they're doing. Most kids aren't going to do that. So, as you said, this is the way that they see how good players are, almost. And just to disrespect Kyler Murray and to disrespect Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones and Josh Allen like that.
Well, it's disheartening too because I tried to get into Madden a little bit last year. I got Madden and 2K really late. I hadn't touched my PS4, dude. Probably.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude, it's probably been since like 2015. But I started playing, January, February, and then I really started getting into games again with the coronavirus. And I've been playing 2K a pretty decent amount. But with Madden, whenever I was trying to play Madden, I was trying to do the online games just because with Madden Ultimate Team at that point in the game, dude, you're facing off against just absurd teams. It's not even fun.
Well,
it wasn't even fun.
That only happens late in the year. I had a pretty good Madden team. I wish I could find it on here.
But I started playing the online ranked games just because I wanted to play Madden. And I was using the Steelers. Mm-hmm. Dude, but the ratings on offense, like Ben's rating was the thing that really got to me. Like I think he was at an 81 or 82 at the time as well. Whenever I was trying to play, at least I could use him because I know he was hurt all last year, and I could put him over Duck and Mason on the depth chart. And you could play. It was funny too. You could put Shazier in at linebacker, and like he's a really good linebacker because of his speed. But the offense was really pissing me off just because of where they had Ben rated, and even like James Conner. Like Deontay's rating wasn't that good either. Juju was, for some reason, they have him rated really good on Madden because he's an X factor and you could pass it to him in the slot. He's going to catch it like all the time. But dude, it does kind of suck. Like I want to play the game and I want to play the game as Steelers. But man, if the ratings aren't that good and you're going up against like Kansas City Chiefs with Mahomes and like Lamar Jackson, these Ravens that have better ratings, it's like, man, kind of sucks.
I'm gonna try and find my.
You're looking up your ultimate Madden Ultimate Team.
Find it, yeah, because I have the companion app. So.
When did you stop playing?
When did I stop playing?
Yeah,
when all the cards started going to be like 99 overall.
Does that annoy you? Because that's what it's like in 2K right now.
If I could talk to like these Madden people, it's like you gotta have some level of compassion for the people that
don't want to pay to play.
Don't want to pay to play.
I don't put money into it. No.
I do, and
you do.
even when I do though, it's not enough to keep up with these guys.
Oh yeah, you're probably going to be shelling out $300-400, huh?
Yeah, I mean more than that.
That's
if you want to have all those 99, like I played against guys, and my team wasn't bad. I'm gonna try to find it. But like I had like 93 Lamar, 93 Kyler. I had like 96, like I had 96, 97 guys. Not enough. I'm getting destroyed. I'm getting dude, it was just
I remember I tried playing one time on there. Or it was a couple times. The one time I played, dude, I went up against a dude that had like 99 Bo Jackson.
It might have been me.
You have, dude, he literally like ran it backwards. He literally ran it backwards. It was like a 90-yard touchdown just taken to the house on me. And I was just like, all right, I'm done. See, this is why I'm done playing Madden. Started playing 2K, though, man. And I think the playing field is a little bit more level with 2K. And it's not as hard to build a pretty decent team in 2K. And the reason is just the amount of players. You can actually, for the most part, put out just a starting 5 and have a shitty bench and just play those 5 the whole time. So getting 5 cards of quality caliber is a lot easier than you basically need to have a full team of quality caliber. Maybe you could be cheap on your offensive line a little bit or your defensive line, but dude, that's going to hurt you still. Having 22 players that are really solid in Madden is a lot harder than just 5 really good players in 2K or even 10.
2K like is a game that like I got into it, I want to say in 2019 as far as like the my team or whatever that went, but I love Madden, and the beginning of Madden seasons as far as Ultimate Team goes is just awesome. It's awesome. It's so fun.
That's why I'm excited for 2K.
So competitive. Yeah. I mean,
because I jumped on late where a lot of the cards were in the 97 range. But here's the thing, I caught up pretty good though, and like I said, I haven't had to pay for it. It's just like you're able to do things to get your team pretty good in a quick way in 2K My Team, in my opinion, because they put out a lot of like diverse and good cards because everyone's got different playing styles. So that's why I really like 2K, dude. I'll be a proponent for it. And they're at that point now though where everything is like 99 and they're throwing like a Kristaps Porzingis shooting guard card out there. So it has been getting a little bit to that point where it's like, come on, dude. Now we're just throwing all these GOAT cards out there and everyone's running these crazy lineups. But I don't know. For some reason, like I really hate the game sometimes when I'm playing because it gets frustrating. But for some reason, I can't walk away, dude. It's one of those, it keeps calling me back.
It's addicting.
It's like golf. It's like golf for some people, dude.
I can't find it, but I'm sure we'll be able to talk about it in the Madden, the upcoming thing here.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not opposed to that at all.
Yeah, I would love to.
Dude, honestly, you can even do one. You can do one like by yourself talking about it.
Yeah.
Like you could say like, "Yo, this was my team in Madden" or something. Like here's my offense, and then you could throw it out there and say, "Yo, the fans of the show, fans of me, rate my lineup.
Yeah.
What do you think of this lineup?"
I mean, I'm excited, and I can't wait to do that this year. I can't wait to just upload as much content as I can because I really love doing this kind of stuff and getting everyone's feedback, even though half the time it's just, oh, you guys are biased, Nick's on drugs, fantasy guy's an idiot. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, you got to show me some respect here. I mean,
dude, but you don't want them to stop coming.
I like it.
Yeah, no.
I like that. I want it to keep coming.
We don't take it personal.
I want the hate.
It's cool,
I want the hate to keep coming.
Everyone's got their opinion, man.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
We got anything else you want to chop it up about games anymore?
Yeah, I mean,
anything with Madden?
What I don't even know when Madden comes out.
I don't know either.
It's
I don't
usually
know.
like
It's
September or
August.
something.
It's gonna be August for
Really?
sure. Yeah, I could look it up here. Are you gonna get it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I sit here and say like, oh, it makes me not want to buy the game. Most of it, I'm gonna buy the game.
August
You know
25th.
what I mean? It's one of those things where
Well, I think here's the question though about getting it though, because they're gonna have the next gen systems come out, so you're gonna have to double buy it.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, they weren't able to do this whenever they did the next gen swap last time from PS3 to PS4 and Xbox 360 to Xbox One. But I wonder if you'll be able to transfer your team.
No.
If not, then man, I mean, there's an argument to be made to say like, hey, I'm gonna wait it out.
Yeah, like I feel like just as far as like Ultimate Team goes, like they never let you transfer your team. They'll give you like
no. But what I mean is the same game. So say you get Madden 21 on the PS4. The next gen swap, it's going to be the same game. It's going to be Madden 21, but it's just going to be on PS5. That's what I mean. I wonder if you'll be able to transfer that.
Oh, yeah. When is the
because
PS5
if that's the
coming
case,
out?
October, November. It's like holiday season.
There's another thing I want to ask you guys.
Are you going to get PS5?
Hold on one second. There's another thing I want to ask you guys. Xbox One or PS4 or the new Xbox or the PS5? What should I get? I'm debating here. I don't know what to get.
PS5, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, that's your input. I'm trying to see what they're thinking here. I mean, I already know what you're going to say.
Am I biased?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, no, here's what happened, though. I was PS2. This is me growing up. I had PS2, and then I went to 360, and I went from 360 to PS4. I think I'm just going to stick with the PS, though. I think I'm going to go PS5 here.
I used to have both, and
because 360 versus PS3, I didn't even think it was close. Like 360's online experience was so much better than PS3.
What skewed me as far as the PS is most of my friends, they had Xboxes, and not a lot of them had PS4. Some of them had PS4, but my close friends had Xbox, and I loved the fact that you could play MLB on PS4. That was one of the things that made me want to get it.
The show that was exclusive to PS.
Now, this year's the first year that the show's coming to Xbox. So I'm excited. That's another game I'm really excited for. I'm not really the biggest baseball guy, but I love a baseball game. It's really fun. Baseball I've played before in my life, and it's awesome. I mean, any game that's sports, and I get hated on by my friends because they love the Call of Duties.
I can't stand those games.
I just can't do it, bro, because I
can't stand them.
It's like you get these kids that are just dominating, and it's like
I've never gotten into them.
Yeah, I just can't. Like, I get into it, and like I play with my friends, and I've played for a long time, but like I'll play it for like the first month or two, and like it's like, dude, it's dead to me. Like, I swear to God, like if you looked at my Xbox right now, if I brought it up here, I wouldn't have any like game like that. I uninstalled them all. Like, I don't have Call of Duty. I don't have Red Dead Redemption. I don't have anything.
What do you go? Like probably just the 4 of MLB,
I got
NHL.
I got NHL, 2K, Madden, UFC, FIFA.
FIFA's really big.
And yeah, I mean all sports games. Dude, I just love sports in general. I mean, I that kind of stuff just doesn't draw me in, like the war and the gun. It just doesn't, And there's other games like my boy Rob. He loves For Honor, and he loves these witchcraft games where you're battling the demon and this and that. You got to take a. It's just like, it's fun, dude. But like after 5 minutes, I'm like, dude, what am I doing with myself here?
Yeah, well, my two are Madden and 2K. I'm definitely way more into 2K than Madden, but I like the just experience of playing someone else online, because you get that whenever you play your buddy at your crib or whatever. There's something to playing just another user, another actual human, as opposed to doing a story mode or just playing the computer all the time. I don't like that. I know for Call of Duty you're facing other humans as well, but I've just never got into those gun games. I don't know what it is, but I love like the online game modes for 2K and Madden. And yeah, those are really the only two games. I used to play NHL back in the day, but yeah, I haven't been like the biggest fan of hockey or into hockey like I used to be.
I'm pretty good at NHL.
Oh, I'm sure you are, dude.
Yeah,
I'm sure
love NHL.
Anything else, dude? Or we good to wrap this up?
Yeah, I mean, we're good to wrap it up. We'll be back.
This was good. I like chopping this up for the past like 10 minutes or so of just talking about video games and shit. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. It was really fun. Something that I'm sure that a lot of people can relate to and they'll appreciate, and I really want some feedback from you guys of what you think of the Madden ratings. If what players you guys think were snubbed. Yeah, I really want to hear back from. I want to hear the feedback. So
100%.
let us know.
One more thing. What'd you say? You mentioned earlier it was like you want Xbox, the next Xbox or PS5. That was another one.
I want to know what you guys think I should buy because I'm in between. A lot of my friends play Xbox and stuff, but they don't like the sports games like I do. So it's like, dude, I don't really care about them anymore. I'm just doing what the better system is and what everyone plays to. So leave in the comments below if you think I should get an Xbox, the new Xbox, or the new PS5 when it comes out. Just please let me know. I'm really in between. Yeah, I just appreciate it.
I think that's it, bro.
Yeah, man.
It was fun. It was really fun.
Really fun. Really fun.
Other than that,
yeah, guys.
hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know,
Yeah,
like he was saying, let us know in the comments what you think of the Madden ratings, etc., etc. So stay chilling.
Peace.
Enjoy your day, and peace.